Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Golden Demon Winners 2024. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. And then we have our Age of Sigmar large miniature or war machine. So this is absolutely amazing. I personally love Trugg. I think this model is awesome. We have the added in water effects. We got some fish down here swimming in the pool. Very cool like plinth action with the base like massively like hanging over the sides. Beautiful detail. Very, very crisp. Very clean. Lots of blends from like all the way like super light colors into darks. Lots of texture on the skin and like the various things here. We got a little bit of OSL on the top. I mean, this right here is like the epitome of like a box art paint job. Very, very nicely done. Congratulations on the win, David Perryman. And then we have our silver winner right here. Again, just beautiful, bright, very nicely done. We see like some definite like textures in the fur, the horns, the actual base itself. Really nice contrast between like the sort of like more drab colors of the base, but then like the super brightness of the model. And then for bronze, we have a custom demon prints right here. Super cool with the extra arm, definitely Tzeentchian. The Tzeentch styled like base, the stairs. Really, really cool right here. And again, just beautifully done like textures, transitions from like dark to light. Lots of like colors that pop. Really just love seeing the diversity in the winners. And then for Warhammer Underworlds, I mean, this is probably the most popular warband for like winning prizes. We have the beautifully done vampires. Again, we see the same style of display right here. So these models are fully usable in game terms, which I think is absolutely awesome because it definitely busts up the stigma a little bit that you have to like have these models specifically for display. I mean, I don't know if you're going to want to use these models. They're so beautifully done, but it's still an option and much more in like the flavor of the actual game itself. Really, really nicely done. Beautiful colors. We see lots of darks, lots of lights. There's like everything from like straight up black to straight up white. And then we see like the red and some of the blues and browns popping on this. Really cool. And then we have our silver winner. So again, just absolutely beautifully done. Models still mounted on bases, which is awesome. Again, we see really good contrast from like the super dark colors to the super light colors. We see simple style like textured bases right out of the package. Beautiful, beautiful blends, colors, metallics. Absolutely love it. And then we have our bronze winner. Again, just awesome, awesome use of color right here. We see the super brights of the greens contrasting with like the blues and the reds and then the brown color base. I'm sure these models look absolutely amazing in person too. The pictures just really don't do them justice compared to seeing these things in the cases. And that was something I experienced firsthand at Adepticon, as it was just mind-blowing how beautiful these are and just how much awesome detail there are. Congratulations to all the winners. And then for Horus Heresy, we see the War Master himself. Very nicely done, super clean base, like little bits of like marble texture, the pillars, overall nice composition. I like this base. It's super simple and just brings all the attention to the War Master. Neil Hollis, congratulations on the gold. Absolutely beautiful. And again, this is much more in tune with like your typical box art, what you would see. Absolute perfection. And then we have our silver winner. Again, just beautiful usage of like the metallics here. Really, really cool and original kind of like staircase mounted on like a flying stand type look with a plinth at the bottom. Very, very well done. And then we have our bronze winner. Again, just beautiful. Look at all the intricate details on the model, the non-metallic metals, the bird in the air flying, more like traditional grassy base. Really, really well done. Then moving on to the old world, we see the new dwarf model right here. We've got a little banner added in the background. Nice little base and everything. Absolutely beautiful. I can tell just by this piece and the metallics on it and everything, the little bits of like hand painted detail on the actual banner and everything, that this is one of those models that if you saw it in person would absolutely blow your mind. Congratulations on the gold, Angelo DiCello. And then we have our silver winner. Nice, clean, simple, very well done, non-metallic metals, the cloth, the base, really just clean and crisp. Doesn't have to be overly detailed, just keep it simple and do a beautiful job painting it. And obviously you can win a golden demon. And then we have our bronze winner. Again, just super bright colors, very cool like contrast. We see the way that the dark and the light have been incorporated right next to each other. See a modified Games Workshop model right here with like the slan mounted on top of one of the stegodons. Very, very cool. Then moving over to the Middle Earth. So this is really, really cool. I love this style right here. Gold for Jordan Toner. We see it's basically completely black and white. And then we see like the actual eye is the only colored part of this. Tiny, tiny bit of like flesh tones right here. But just really cool. Really simple, but extremely well done. And then keep in mind also the Lord of the Rings models are at a slightly smaller scale too. Very, very beautiful. Nicely done. Then we have our silver winner. Again, just like simple grassy base, just really nicely painted model. And then the bronze winner. This is absolutely amazing. It just really jumps out at you. Super cool base, nice composition, full on action pose. We see really nice usage of like the darks and lights for the contrast, the metallics. Very, very nicely done. And then moving over to a Blood Bowl. So first we have an ogre in gold. Really cool, simple little kind of cutout of the actual football field. Really crisp details, but also like some nice blends. We see the texture of like the pants versus the texture of the skin. We see like the weathering and everything done on the shoulder pads and some of the armor. Really cool. And then we have our silver winner. We've got like a little backdrop, super simple, super clean. And then we have like a little action going on. A couple of these undead players trying to tackle the werewolf. Really cool, really nice action pose, and definitely a unique take. And then we have our bronze winner, really nicely done Minotaur, absolutely beautiful, like non-metallic metals and everything. Still has some of like the grimdark aesthetic to it, but again, like bright colors, little blood on the football, stomping on like the actual player, little cutout of the grassy field. I just love just how much diversity we're seeing in these winners. Awesome.
Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video.
Then we have for Necromunda, the gold winner. So again, really cool. Basically, have like the biker standing next to the bike. We have the cats, like one relaxing and one just kind of hanging out. See a nice composition with a little piece of stone in the background, and then super just basic sandy terrainscape itself. Very nicely done. The little details of like all of the actual cloth and everything. Beautiful skin tones. Nice contrast between blacks and pure whites, but lots of color added in. Very, very cool. And then we have our silver winner. So nice actual backdrop made out of like Necromunda pieces or Kill Team pieces. Beautiful, beautiful paint job on the actual models. Very bright colors. Nice metallic effects, very grimdark. Again, we see like all the way from like the blacks to the whites. Absolutely love this. The caution tape, very neat. And then finally we have our bronze. So again, we see the usage of like the actual backdrop painted on here. A little like sort of cutout, makes you feel like they've just taken a tiny little scene from Necromunda and brought it to life. Very cool ogre. We got like a little bionic monkey thing going on here. Nice little conversion, very well done. And then for epic scale, we see like a nice little water effect on the ship. Again, this is absolutely tiny, so the amount of like detail and quality that's gone into this is absolutely staggering. We also see like the nameplate, the Bloody Reaver, the name of the ship. Very cool. And awesome to see a Dreadfleet model featured in a Golden Demon winning slot. And then for silver, we see a little Reaver Titan. Again, just beautiful detail, nice weathering, cool little pose, and then like the massive scale of just the little dudes on foot at the bottom. And then next we have our bronze winner. Dreadnought getting out of a drop pod. Nice landscape on an angle, which is super cool. Very, very well done. I really like the usage of the bases from these guys to really set the scene. And then probably my favorite category overall, the diorama or duel. So here we see a Space Wolf on top of a Tyranid Hive Tyrant. Again, just beautiful layout. We see the water effects with all the details down below. See the actual like rounding effect of the Tyranid wings. And then obviously the main focal point is the Space Wolf himself getting ready to finish off the Hive Tyrant as it splashes into the water. Absolutely amazing. Another one you could tell just looks even 10 times better in person. Congratulations on the gold. All right, and then we see our silver winner. So I actually saw some partially like worked on pictures of this at one point in time a while back, and this is absolutely amazing. You don't get the full scope of it obviously in a single picture, but we basically have like the Khorne side right here, the Ultramarine side right here, and then the Clash in the middle. This is absolutely beautiful. This thing is probably massive also. I would have loved to see this in person. Very, very well done. Absolutely beautiful. Tough to tell like the actual details, but again, we see like some of the bright whites and then also like the straight blacks. And then we see the kind of like contrast of the red and the blue. Absolutely beautiful. I would love to see this one in person. And then also we have our bronze winner. So again, really, really unique, cool, like sort of landscape as it tells a story that they're basically bringing out the Triumph like through the sort of like gate. We see the stained glass in the background. And again, this just really feels like a snapshot from like an actual story that's being told from an action scene. The 3 dimensions of like all of the cherubs hovering above the individual models. Very nicely done. And then we have our Youngbloods. So definitely keep an eye out for these because these are the future of painting. If they're already doing this well at a young age, it's only going to be better from here. So very cool from Henry Neerman. Nice crisp details, cool little landscape scene, beautiful like metallics, nice flesh tones, and then of course like crisp detail and creamy blends. Then we also have our silver for David Burke. Very, very cool sword, just really jumps out at you. We see not a lot of use of color, which makes the sword really pop. Nice and simple, but clean base. And then obviously a beautiful paint job on all of the armor. Nice contrast between the darks and lights, and then usage of like composition and color. And then we see from Maximilian Merheim, our bronze winner. Very nicely done. We see the various like textures utilized well between like the actual sword, the cloth, and the base itself. We see a nice original paint job on this, not your traditional Games Workshop colors. It's nice to see that people can use the colors that they like, the composition that they like, and still win. So congratulations to all the Youngbloods. Keep up the good work, gentlemen. All right, and then we have the open competition. So very cool. This one is sort of like more of a duel kind of like situation here, but very nice. Harlequin kind of jumping off an elevated position, taking advantage of the high ground. And then we see a Trader Guardsman obviously injured on the ground, trying to get that finishing shot off. Nice usage of the actual landscape and then crisp and clean paint job on the models themselves. Very cool. All right, and then interestingly enough, we see two just very nicely done but very simple models for the silver and bronze. We see just a beautifully painted Space Marine. You can see like the difference between the actual box art, which is like super clean paint job, and then also like the little bits of like weathering and battle damage kind of sets this apart. Very, very simple base right here. We see little bits of like weathering pigments, making it seem like this guy is actually a part of like the landscape. And this just shows you that just one beautifully painted, super simple intercessor is all you need. It's not about overly detailing stuff. Sometimes simple is good. And then for our bronze winner, we see a single Deathwing Knight. Again, just really nicely done, super simple base. And here we can kind of see, like, not to point out how somebody did one thing better than the other, but it's very interesting. This model just looks like it was straight up attached to the base, but doesn't necessarily like blend into the environment. We can see like the actual feet don't like sink into the ground or anything. It just looks like this model was painted and attached to the base. And then here we see this one actually feels like it's part of the environment because of like the little bit of additional weathering done. And again, not to take anything away from the Deathwing Knight. Obviously an absolutely beautiful paint job, but oftentimes something simple like that will be the difference between the silver and the bronze. But the actual Deathwing Knight himself, beautifully done. Awesome different textures, cool transitions from like the darker colors in the shadows to the bright whiteness of the armor, even on like the actual same plate. Very nicely done, non-metallic metals. Absolutely beautiful. All right, and then last but not least, we see the Slayer Sword winner, and it is Trug Nasty. So absolutely beautiful. Well done. This is not surprising at all, as this is absolutely amazing. We get a little bit of a close-up picture of this. Beautiful, beautiful textures. Very nicely done. Congratulations to the winner here. I absolutely love this. Got a little close-up of like the actual water flowing down here through the crack. Little fish swimming around down in here. A broken shield. Just very nice attention to detail on this. Congratulations to David Perryman for the Slayer Sword winner. So absolutely amazing entries, I'm sure, but congratulations to all the winners, as all of these are top notch. You can see how much like the composition has been rewarded. The actual like various styles of paint jobs and models demonstrate that you can win with anything as long as you do it well. I think if there was two things I could see in person, obviously the Slayer Sword winner for sure, I'm sure looks amazing in person. But I would absolutely love to see these two dioramas in person. I feel like I could spend hours looking at all like the various little details, really examining all of the hard work that went into these. These are, I think, my two favorite pieces right here. Beautifully done, my favorite category, and very, very well executed. I'm sure it was a nightmare to transport some of these two. So hopefully there's no breakages, and congratulations to all of the Golden Demon winners. So let me know what you think. Which one was your favorite? Was there anything in particular that jumped out at you that you thought was particularly amazing? Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.